So it's absolutely a pleasure to be here. I think this is my first year doing the SASFIN integrated report. I think if I look in terms of where the business has come from, I think if I refresh everybody's memory, it's actually a measure of other businesses that we've had within SASFIN that were really sort of product monolines that were now sort of put together to form what we now know as business and commercial banking. Absolutely great to see these businesses come together. We've been able to actually get the one culture in the business, being able also to set up a proper management team that runs these businesses. We've made also significant progress around the culture of the business, sort of creating a one business and commercial banking unit, and for people that are working in this environment to feel at one with the business unit. So it's been great to actually see that come through in terms of the business. And I think also the other thing that we've had to review was to actually sort of have a close look at our strategy, to say as a new pillar that is in SASFIN, what is it that we want to do in the oncoming years. To a large extent, I think we've come through with a small business segment, a medium-sized business segment, a large business segment within the business banking environment. And within the commercial banking environment, obviously, we still have the specialized lending business. We have the commercial property finance business, as well as the trade and data finance business. These businesses are slightly different. I think the commercial banking business is much more of a niche type business, a much more of a specialized type business, which has a lot of experience and depth in terms of loan structuring and putting customer solutions in place in terms of lending. The business banking unit is a much more vanilla type, I would say, business, which focuses largely in terms of the segments that I've mentioned, but really sort of driving a fully transactional banking proposition. So the business focus going forward is to drive, as I said, a primary business banking relationship, but also to actually sort of grow transactional revenues. That's what we're focusing on. Obviously, that underpinned by a very client-centric business mindset. So if one looks back in terms of that proposition, it means that there's a whole lot of things that we need to think about as we move forward with this business. We got to think about how do we extend basically the distribution footprint so that we can reach more businesses. Secondly, we got to think about the product suites. How do we increase our product offering so that we can have a much more holistic offering to our customers? But most importantly, I think, is the transactional banking proposition, which really underpins any business banking model, to say, how do we sort of strengthen the capabilities in terms of our transactional banking? How do we upgrade our existing customer digital platforms so that we can service all the customers that we've identified to be within our target segment? I think the business continues to grow. We continue to be focusing on our lending proposition. In fact, this year, we've seen our lending book grow by approximately 28%. And also that is underpinned by the Nasira-backed funding capability, which allows us to actually reach a much more wider audience of small businesses that are in the risk bracket that ordinarily we wouldn't find. And so we're very grateful to have this funding capability that allows us to deepen basically our reach in terms of the SME financing.